What's up, guys? I'm Jones.
And I'm Mann. And we're Jones and Mann. And tonight we are jonesing on, I feel like this is a classic. Can I call it a classic?
It can be a classic. The Lost Episode.
Lost Episode, Eagle Rare. All right, Jones. I know everybody's like, classic? Lost Episode? Like, what are they talking about? This is a shout out to my man B because he reminded me. I think November was like officially 3 years from our very first episode. Mm-hmm. Well, the very first one that we dropped.
That's right. The
Ciroc French Vanilla?
Yep.
However, the very first episode that we did was Eagle Rare.
Yes.
It was Eagle Rare. We were set up. We were, I guess, not jitters, but, kind of figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
We were at Studio East.
Yep.
We had everything set up. We were ready. We were hyped. And this was our first episode, and I felt like that episode was gold. We did it. It was the episode that made us say, okay, well, we can do this.
Yeah, it flowed excellently until we figured out somebody forgot to press the record button. So that's how it becomes a lost episode.
Yeah. And now I normally, or used to be, I could pick on that person about that. However, I think I've done that a couple times. A couple times since then, so it happens.
Yeah.
So we are jonesing on Eagle Rare. We're gonna go back to this one and give it a full the review that it deserves. So you want to tell us a little bit about Eagle Rare? I think this is a 750 milliliter. I don't even know what it costs nowadays.
Typically, it's around $35, so it's right in that good budget range for a bourbon, for a good bourbon. And as you recall, you remember, getting me to start, you were like, well, let's try something that you typically like. And Eagle Rare had been something that I kept finding in the store that I really enjoyed. And now I haven't had it in over a year, maybe 2 years, because I can't find it in the store in my local area.
Now, a side note to that is, he knows all he got to do is call Mann, but go ahead.
Yeah, I can come to the Mann liquor store. But, so just a little bit about it. It has won a lot of awards. The thing that I do like about it is that I remember it being a little dry, like a good red wine. Mm-hmm. But it was one of the first age 10-year whiskeys that I had. Mm-hmm. So, and that's a good thing about it, is Eagle Rare is always a minimum of 10 years. Okay. I can't remember which mash bill it is. I think it's mash bill 1, but I've seen some conflicting information, so I don't want to just say it is mash bill 1. I
think you're right, because I think it's in mash bill 1 with E.H. Taylor and all of those kind of deal. So, it's 45 proof. 45%, which is 90 proof.
Yes. So it sits just below the, not Buffalo Trace, but it sits just below Proofage for Blanton'S. Mm-hmm. Well below the E.H. Taylor, which is bottled and bond at 100. Yep. And then Buffalo Trace, I think, is right around that same 190 proof mark.
I feel like that's right. Now, I remember in this episode that we did, the Lost episode, not liking Eagle Rare. And I think I've always said that Eagle Rare I'm not a fan of it because it was more on the dry, more on the peppery side. Mm-hmm. Now, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, and now I think we stepped your proofage up quite a bit.
Yeah. Experience. I've been on this bourbon trail for a little bit. So I'm sorry, I think I cut you off. Was there any other tidbits you wanted to give about the Eagle?
No, I'm just excited to try it again because, like I said, I haven't had it in quite a while. Yeah. And now I get to see the nice legs on it. Smells like really sweet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Maybe one day we'll get a 17 in here.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, got to keep trying.
Yeah.
So, let's do what we do. Let's clink them and drink them. We're going to do house rules and taste this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put me some down.
I'm going to go ahead and let it sit across the rocks in these fantastic new Prestige. I'm spilling a whole lot tonight.
Is it the glass or the bottle?
I don't know. It's probably the pourer. I don't know what it is. I think it's just me tonight. I don't know what's up.
Yeah, it's the sober
I think yes, it's sober pour. But I'm also trying to pour lightly because I know this is, we're getting together. We're going to be doing a lot of things tonight. So I'm trying to pour some light pours. But these are awesome new glasses from Prestige Decanters. If you haven't checked out Prestige, please do so. Promo code JNM. I think these are dope, and they're a great matchup for my Cullinan decanter, which is the decanter in bond. Maybe we'll get to try this tonight.
Let's hope so.
Oh yeah.
All right. It's kind of dope right there. So instead of just kind of letting it teeter-totter in here, you can
tilt
it to the side.
Yep.
Good speaking piece.
Yep.
It
might. I think it's designed for drunkards. So, because I'm quick to knock over a glass. Woo.
Very true. Very true. When you get a couple glasses in.
Yeah. So what do you think about that neat pour? What did it bring back for you?
The neat pour, it reminded me of why I like it. It's kind of sweet right in the beginning, but then it has a long dry finish.
Yeah.
So it gives me kind of like a red wine that I remember, like kind of like a good Merlot.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what made me originally like it.
Okay.
And I think the funniest thing about it was when I originally saw it in the liquor store, I saw it sitting there and they were like, it's a limit of 1 bottle per customer. I was like, I've never seen that. And why is it, limited?
Yeah.
And then when I got the bottle, I was like, yeah, now I can see why they're limiting how many bottles people can buy, because this is really good.
Yeah. I will say right off the bat, this is why we do this, at least for me. And this is why I think more people should branch out. Because this is nowhere near as hot as I remember it. Mm-hmm. And that's because my experience and profile with whiskey has changed a lot. Before this, everything I was drinking was 80 proof. So now when you talk about 90, at this point when we're doing 100 plus, it's not so bad. I definitely I get the sweetness in the beginning. I definitely get some dryness in between there. It's not anywhere near as spicy as I remember it from the past. And this is the neck pour, which is supposedly the worst pour of the bottle kind of deal. So let's get into the rocks. Let's get into the rocks. Okay.
I do like the glass.
I like the sound.
I like the sound, and when you sip from the glass, sometimes you'll get one that's a rocks glass that's too thick on the rim, and it kind of takes away from the sip that you get.
Yeah.
But this has a good even balance on the lip.
Yeah.
So you get that full sip without having to struggle to get it.
Feels good in the hand, weighted at the bottom kind of deal, and it looks good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, we could be drinking Evan Williams right now, but it would look like we were drinking something eloquent.
Very true.
Now that Evan Williams is not, I guess I should say benchmark 8. Something very inexpensive. Okay. What do you think about that on the rocks pour?
That reminds me of the beginning of a lot of things, because this is what I was drinking when I first really started enjoying cigars and learning how to taste the different notes in them. And this sitting on the rocks just brings me back to, like some of my first cigars. Like I love the Rocky Patel Maduros. Mm-hmm. And like I said, inexpensive cigar, fairly inexpensive whiskey, but it has a lot of character. And those two paired up so well, and it's reminding me I need to go pick some up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still sweet, and it takes some of the chill takes some of that dryness off.
Yeah.
And it makes it, for me, it's just reminds me of why it is one of my favorites.
Oh, you want to go ahead and rate it? All right.
I would rate it a 4.5.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. I am kind of really surprised in the fact that how far I personally have come, because this is nowhere near as hot as I remember it. About a year ago, I played poker with the fellas, and I tried Eagle Rare again, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is not that bad. And a year ago, we were probably 2 years into this. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I was already my palate was already starting to grow. I definitely have a much bigger appreciation for Eagle Rare. I get the sweetness. I get all the flavors that you're talking about. This is a little less like, sometimes I can get a little vanilla in there. I don't really get a lot of that personally in
It's
this.
not a lot of vanilla. It's more of for me, it's more of like a roasted nut. Like maybe like an almond.
Woodsy, or like a nutty kind of,
it is very woodsy, very almost coffee.
Oh, yeah. Now, I can get that coffee.
It's, for me, I really enjoy it.
So, with that said, while I have a much bigger appreciation for Eagle Rare, it doesn't move to my top of whiskey or bourbon.
Well,
I probably would rate this around the neighborhood of a 3.5.
But that's, for me, that is surprising to hear you say a 3.5.
Because the price point is really, really good. I find it to be enjoyable. It doesn't really have some of the notes that I like. I like vanilla because I guess it's the rum side. So I want to get a little creaminess, and I don't get as much of that there. There's still a little spice, but nowhere near. Like I think to myself, like, what was I talking about spicy? Because this really is not that spicy. It's good. So I'm gonna definitely say Eagle Rare's a 3.5 for me, 4.5 for you.
Yes, sir. Easy.
Now I happen to have, which I think you have over there,
yes,
a store pick.
Yes.
So from a store called Vintage, which is in Nashville. And Vintage is one of those stores that I frequent pretty often when I'm in Nashville because they have some pretty awesome selections. They've got a great, knowledgeable staff, and their pricing is really good. So because of that, I was able to grab a bottle. I want to say the bottle was maybe a little bit more than the typical Eagle Rare. I feel like it was, but I was out of state too. So out of state, it might be on par for in state. So I think we should just try it. That's enough right now, and see if we can taste the difference in the store pick. And then what I also think is, I know that you've been looking for Eagle Rare. I figure like you should take one home with you.
That is the joy of having a man as your friend.
That's right. That's right. So let's click them and drink them.
Oh, that has a little more on the nose.
Yeah, I think we know which one you're taking home. There's a little more pepper in that, but I feel like there's a little more flavor in that.
There's a lot more flavor in this one.
In which one? The barrel pick.
In the barrel pick.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot more flavor in the barrel pick.
That is that I don't know who picked the barrel, but they made an excellent choice.
Side by side, there is a considerable difference. So people always talk about, and I am the person to say, barrel pick means nothing to me unless you know two things. One, who's picking the barrel. So if you frequent a store or a county, because Wilson County does a really good job, and you know what their picks have been like in the past, then you can kind of say, okay, well, our profiles align. And two, even you could have the best picker, but does that store have the opportunity or enough volume or whatever it takes to have a good selection of barrels to pick from? Because you can have a really good picker, but they don't have a lot to choose from, and they're just picking the best of the worst kind of deal. Vintage did their thing on that one.
Oh yeah,
I like that one. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Yeah, most definitely. I kind of get like a little cherry, almost a little vanilla sweetness in there. Mm-hmm. It's more, I would say it's more cherry, more dried fruit, but a sweet fruit kind of deal. Yeah. And that's the neck pour too, because we just opened both of those.
Literally the neck pour. That's not even an ounce pour out of it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, in the two, while both are close, I often say that bottle look taller, but this one's better. Yeah, the barrel pick.
That barrel pick.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It takes the regular one and it kicks it up by at least 50%.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, there you go, folks. That's a good example of a barrel pick being better than a standard pick.
Yes, definitely.
For sure. Well,
definitely, check us out.
yeah, I was about to say, like,
you see how good this is? He is so amazed he forgets to tell you to do what? Check us out on
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, the whole work. Definitely, if you are in the market for spirits, check out cwspirits.com/JonesNmann. Support your home team. Support us. All we ask is that when you get ready to buy spirits, if you can, instead of going to your local store, check out CW. The best thing to do is spend $125. You get free shipping. But if you're not going to spend $125, sign up for the vault for that month. It costs $19.99. That'll cover your shipping costs. And you can send to friends and things of that sort. But the biggest thing to remember out of all of that is that you're supporting your boys. For sure.
That's right.
So this has been another episode of Jones and Mann. Clink 'em and drink 'em. And we'll see you next time.